Well, hello, folks, and welcome back to another episode of Fully Immersed. I am, of course, Spencer Bennett at this point. I'm like the secondary host in fairly regular rotation because it is spooky season, and Lane Calder is busy doing something else. He may join later, and if he does, do not be startled. But yeah, welcome back to Fully Immersed. I'm joined as always by my friend and co-host Tobias Lerman-Matante.
What's up?
And special guest today, our friend and old coworker Noah Espinola.
Hey everyone! I don't think I need to get that close to the mic. Great to be here.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk theme parks. I think I'm at the point now where you guys have sufficiently indoctrinated me, so I know more than your average Joe. I definitely don't know as much as you guys, but I think I'm starting to develop some authority to speak on some aspects.
Dude, it's crazy. He has not just out-haunted me this season, he's like gone how many times?
I out-haunted you last season too.
But how many times have you gone to Horror Nights Hollywood so far?
5, but granted, I didn't go. They were like partial nights, so I only did 1 or 2 full nights, and then the other 3 were like going in and doing one house because the lines are atrocious this year, and you can't even go on a Thursday without suffering, and just like I had to take my thickest A6, you know.
Had to get the Dr. Scholl's inserts.
Oh yeah, no, I need the orthopedics for
that.
He also was a psychopath and came with us on our Orlando trip. He came to Epic with us, and he did 3 nights of Horror Nights.
Yes, but I was not about to do what you guys do, where you like take a red eye and then just like hate your lives all day.
Yeah,
so
it was a choice this year.
We budgeted sleep.
Yeah, you guys had a much more relaxed trip. I think Lane and I officially hit the wall of we're maybe too old for this shit when we landed Saturday morning, and we'd like tried to check into the hotel, and we were like, should we just nap in the lobby? And I'm like,
sleep is a budgetable activity. It's like just like
absolutely.
going to a theme park is an activity.
Yeah, dude. I think I realized that when I went to Horror Nights after Epic, and you were asking me questions, and I literally could not talk to you.
Yeah.
My brain was just shut off. It was like he was asking me, and they were good. They were like things I should normally know how to answer and strategy stuff. And I was like, dude.
You were about to say they were good questions, but then you stopped yourself.
They were good questions. They were good questions.
Dude,
but
they were
like
good questions, Toby. Give your friend some credit.
Yeah, but then I think I just stared at you blankly, and I was like, I think I just told you like, don't ask me questions. I don't know.
I don't remember either.
Yeah, we
were
speaking. I don't even remember the house. Like I vaguely remember
WWE.
We did WWE, and I vaguely remember the facade and some things, but like that was when I realized I was like, oh fuck, I'm 26 now. I'm not 22. This shit hits. Like this is getting to the point where like I cannot do. If I had to do this for 3 days straight, I think I would not make it.
Yeah, we slept
I got this hoodie on.
Night. Oh,
Spencer I forgot to earlier.
Is that from Monsters Unchained?
This is from Dark Universe.
Hell yeah.
Which it might be a good segue into our topic, because this, even though it's one of the more popular rides at Epic, there was like no lines ever.
Dude,
ever.
Same with him.
Yeah,
same with him.
It's a capacity monster.
We did agree.
Unintended, I guess.
Okay, before we get into it, can you agree? I think we both said that it is probably the best dark ride I've ever been on.
I think so.
Monsters Unchained. Like I don't think anything. I know we had a whole episode on this last week, but
we did, yeah.
We did that. Nothing I think ever. That shit was the most impressive thing I've ever fucking seen.
The animatronics were very impressive.
I will say. No,
and they had scale to them, you know.
For sure. No, I remember I texted you and I was like, "Are you enjoying Epic?" And you were like, "That's the best ride I've been on." I was like, "Yes, my boy." Welcome.
It's so good. But I think, at least from what I can tell, and because you also told me, the reason the line doesn't goes well, it's because that thing is always moving.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it's not like it stops, everyone boards. It's just kind of constantly flowing.
Yeah, it's a capacity monster. I mean, it boards, I said it before, but it boards like a rapid ride. It's constantly moving platform, and the vehicles, what is it, 5 or 6 across?
Dude, I don't... Oh, people in the vehicle? Four people. It's like Forbidden Journey. Yeah, it's 4.
Okay.
And then you have
house.
the opposite.
I mean, there's 5 to 6 loading at a time. It's almost 24 people, so...
Yeah.
And then we were talking about this last episode, but I'm curious to get your thoughts from using your operations brain, Noah. We were like, is there any solution to Donkey Kong?
To the minecart one?
When it rains, how it shuts down. Like, is
well,
there
just
any
the
way
wait
to do
times.
this?
Just the wait times on that thing.
Oh, I don't know if that'd be an operations question. I don't know if it's an issue with the ride and the engineering. I don't know what fails. That's the problem. Do you guys know what?
No, he knows.
Yeah, it's sensors. So when there's like rain forecasted anytime close, like for some reason the moisture trips the sensors and they have to shut it down for safety purposes. So I was like floating out the very caveman idea of what if they just covered parts of the track. But I don't know how feasible that is at this stage.
I mean, I don't know when we were there, like that thing never dropped from like 100.
No, it's rough.
No. Doing it first was the move.
And we waited an hour still.
We waited.
We road dropped it.
Toby had beef with this lady in line. So I was ready to throw hands, but like,
no, Ellie just was like, no.
But both our girlfriends try to avoid conflict as much as possible.
Yeah,
my relationship's the inverse.
Really?
So, yeah.
Is Nicole the fiery one?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
You gotta have one. You can't have both people be fiery, and you can't have both people avoid conflict.
I'm very comfortable stating that she could kick my ass. Very comfortable stating that. But yeah, speaking of lines and crowds, the reason we brought our friend Noah on is, as Toby alluded to, Noah's got more of an operations-minded brain than the two of us. So we are going to debate something that Toby and I have very strong opinions about, and apparently Noah does too, so this will be fun. Skip the line tickets, Express Pass, Genie Plus, if you call it that when you go to Disney. I think it's called Genie Plus, right? That's the app. Is it? No, Lightning Lane. It's called Lightning Lane.
Lightning Lane, Genie Plus is the app, but then Lightning Lane is like it's super confusing, man. Just call it Fast Pass. I don't know why
Fast Pass. We used to just be Fast Pass. A
Cedar
Splash
Fair,
Pass and Six Flags.
And what's Cedar Fair's?
Cedar Fair is nuts.
Yes.
I was just there.
It's Flash Pass at Six Flags.
Yeah, I mean they're both the same company now, but it's
Fastlane.
Fastlane. You got it. Yeah.
Because at their Scary Farm, it's Frightened Fastlane.
Yeah.
There you go. Yes.
So I could have used for the zoo. That line was a zoo.
There you go. But yeah, that ticket option that has become a mainstay in this industry, even outside of theme parks. I mean, it's a thing at haunted houses and exhibits and everything. Everybody needs their front of the line tickets.
I mean, I feel like it's an inevitable reality with anything that involves lines.
Sure.
Right? Like you have TSA pre-check.
There you go.
Right?
It even involves,
even I mean, even in the Panama Canal, you can pay to go to the front to get a slot at the front of the line.
Oh, really?
So, a couple of years ago, they do a bidding process. Just for context, I work a little bit not within logistics and not within shipping, but where I work, we bring all our product from overseas.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't cross the canal, but the canal works in like a bidding process. And a couple of years ago, someone bid like $4 million to get to the front of the line.
Whoa.
Because those ships will literally be waiting in a line to get through the
So it's like
lot.
an infinite, there's no like cap. You can bid however much, and if you bid the most, you just go to the front?
Pretty much.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know the intricacies, but I know it works through a bidding process. So, I mean, it's just inevitable, right? My understanding is Disney started without having any of this kind of skip the line stuff.
Correct, yeah.
But inevitably, these things grow big, and since they're physical things, they have limited capacity, right? But every business wants to expand and find ways to monetize better and more.
Sure.
But the challenge becomes when you have a physical facility, how do you do that, right?
But so Disney's approach was interesting though, because Disney's
when they introduced
it was free.
Mm-hmm.
and it was a free system where the fast pass, when you would reserve and you would come back later. It was essentially a time, which I think to this day, and this is not speaking financially, this is speaking purely guest experience wise, I think is the best way to do it. I mean, our big thing, and I guess like the crux of the conversation today, right, is like it has gotten to the point where I don't think with theme parks as much for the most part.
With ticketed events, though.
But with events, that shit has now become almost a necessity if you're trying to do, like, let's say you're trying to do Horror Nights. I don't know, Knox, could you potentially do it in one night when you went this year?
Yes. So I think this year I went on probably one of the worst nights I've ever seen it.
This is not Scary Farm, right? Not the theme park?
Yeah, not Scary Farm.
Okay. What day did you go?
I went Saturday, October 4th.
Okay.
It was really full.
I do think we could have gotten everything done if you got to be really focused in that first hour, right? We didn't have the buffet or the early entry, so we just arrived at 7.
Sure.
Thankfully, we got to go in through the back gate. The front gate, the line
is night. I remember.
It stretched from the gate almost to like the preferred parking.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So if you have know anything about the layout of Knott's, it was humongous. I've never seen it like that. But we got to go in through the back gate, so.
But their line, I think that it's that security line. It's like that's an operations issue because like Knott's has had a history of, let's say, not the best behavior from people coming in, and they just don't have the equipment that, say, a horror, because I think Horror Nights still probably draws in more people here than Knott's does. I can't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Orlando eclipses both of them. But
they have a much better system to get through security. Like Knott's, it's
also a much better run theme park.
Yeah, I mean, Knott's is a regional park.
Their operations
have that too.
I love Cedar Fair, but their operations are awful.
Like, for example, do you think, I haven't gone to Hollywood this year, Noah, if you tried, no express.
Hollywood? No.
Is it possible to do it in one night?
I don't think so. No. Not at any of the nights that I've been. No, and because in my experience...
Confident, no.
No, the wait times have actually been relatively accurate in my experience in Hollywood.
Wow.
In Orlando, they were inflated. Knott's, they were inflated
up the ass, right?
Bigger than my booty, like
yeah.
In California, they were actually unfortunately pretty accurate.
Interesting.
So no, I don't think Hollywood this year you can do
in one night. It's impossible.
You got to pay express.
Yeah, or if you live here, do a frequent fear. But
if you live here, it's chill, right?
And I guess like a lot of the conversation just revolves around that of like, you know, I think Spencer and I mean, I'm sure you have the same belief. It's just like,
well, you got like an eat the rich kind of vibe with Express.
Yeah.
It was like,
for sure.
No, he wanted to murder everyone.
I mean, it does get extremely taxing, specifically at Horror Nights when you get that like cross between the lines and they're just letting all of them go. Like, I think even the most patient of people, which being theme park heads, I think there's a certain amount of built-in patience that I would say the three of us now. Welcome to the cult, Noah. We all have a good amount of patience, but that'll drive anyone insane.
I just think the anger is misplaced.
No, I know. It is misplaced.
Just from a purely, like, if you buy something and you pay more than someone to get a certain privilege, I think you're entitled to that.
No, and I don't disagree with you. Like, you're right, and the conversation today is really on the theme park side, not so much on the because like I was gonna say earlier is like this is a problem that has been created by the theme parks themselves.
Yes.
I think this is a self-created.
Well, again, I think there's also just an inherent like with there's physical limitations to keep in mind. Again, like with anything where there's lines, eventually. Like faster lines splinter off, like in the Panama Canal, like into the
Mm-hmm. But
I don't know how it just wasn't. It's inevitable. I feel like, it's very organic and natural for a company to want to try and monetize that.
No, and I get that. I mean, I will say, like I said earlier when we were starting with the Fast Pass, like from a guest operation standpoint, for years that worked, and you did not have the backups that you have to this day. When Fast Pass first started out, well, I mean, I wasn't alive when but like most of my childhood
attending,
like a Fast Pass line, like it was, you still have that system in place, right? You had the splintering off and you had the Fast Pass people going faster, but because it wasn't paid, you just had, all right, I got this Fast Pass for 2 hours from now, and I just come back
within like a 30-minute window, and they would run out, right? There wasn't infinite amount.
Your guys' gripe is just the fact that it's paid now.
It's not so much that it's not just paid, it's the extent at which it has kind of taken over. I don't think, again, theme parks, it's not as atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is in the event side because, I mean, to give you an idea, now even Horror Nights doesn't just have Express. It has, Express is like the mid-tier option.
There's Express Unlimited where you can do it
Express
over
Unlimited,
and over again.
And then there is the VIP or the RIP or whatever, and there's even a tier above that nowadays.
Yeah.
So like,
but the only one that has real impact on the standby line is Express, because
the
RIP
both
tours are
of
pretty.
Express, correct?
There's really only a few people probably buying the Unlimited Express. The RIP, you only see a few tours a night.
Yeah,
it's really just the Express that has an impact.
But here's the thing: like, if they wanted to, I think, and I guess is the conversation. And it's a tough part of it where like I can't disagree with you from the business side, right? Like this is, I'm sure, generating a shit ton of revenue. Like they are rolling money because that shit's selling out like crazy. I mean, Express sells out weeks in advance, which is crazy. But at the same time, maybe is there a point, and I don't think we're at it yet, but I think we're starting to see it now, where like as an operator or somebody managing this event, if you are seeing the lines becoming this much of an issue, and even Express is having to wait. So like if you get the unlimited or some of the higher tier Express passes, you even cut the Express lines, because sometimes you're getting Express lines that you're still waiting 20, 30 minutes in if it's a particularly popular house.
There's been some Express queues in Universal Orlando. I mean, this is anecdotal that I've read. I didn't obviously experience this, but people wait upwards of 30, 45 minutes in an Express queue.
Line? Yeah. So at that point, like, is it capping the Express more than you are?
So let me give a perspective that I think is uniquely mine. I'm the only one who's worked in operations in a theme park, like on the ground, like as a cast member.
Yeah, I'm okay. Production and you were operations, but more so on the event,
higher level
exhibition
side.
side.
So I worked like ground level in Disneyland Resort for a couple of years, specifically in attractions and entertainment. But anyway, there is a line that is hard to teeter on of when you're overselling the event or the Express ticket, whatever, and then you make the standby experience untenable. And I think there's a line between making profit and then like literally harming the consumer. And I think at least this year specifically, we're talking about Halloween Horror Nights, they've just made a conscious choice to go the other way. Like they just don't care. It's like borderline anti-consumer practice. And so like when I worked at the park, they would inflate wait times, specifically Radiator Springs Racers, right? Like that wait time is always...
that was their big... because you were there when that was the... I mean, it still is, but that was like regularly 70, 80 minutes, yeah.
And I know for a fact the wait time is inflated. Like I just know that. I witnessed it. They tell you to make it higher than it is, especially towards the end of the day, to deter people from going in. So when FastPass was a free thing, there was a limit that they would have for each time slot. So you never felt like... The thing with tricking the consumer is the line needs to be always moving. When you get stopped is when people get restless. If it's always moving, and there's tricks of the trade of making the queue really dense and whatever, but when the line stops, people get restless and upset. And the trick is to not oversell it to the point where it's noticeably, hey, why is that line going in front of me? And I agree, no, I don't think the problem is people having the money to spend.
No, it's not. It's 100%.
It's the priority of the
little beach.
Yeah, and I get that.
It was a very bad experience that we had, and it just I think it just pushed me to my point. I mean, it was our last ride. We were fucking dead.
Which we're talking about now?
I believe it.
Oh yeah, we waited 2 hours and 40 minutes for Hagrid's.
Oh my god, okay.
And it was purely Express at
Hagrid's
that time. It was
an excellent example because they added Express Pass this summer. Hagrid's for its entire shelf life has not had Express until this year. And granted, Hagrid saw like 8-hour waits or something nuts the first day. That's an anomaly.
Has it gotten worse with Express?
Anecdotally, sure. The line has been longer. Yeah. I mean, you guys experienced 3 hours. I've never waited that long. And
we had a weird situation where it was down for a lot of the day.
It said half of the ride's operational capacity.
And then
down.
the elevator chamber. The elevator chamber, there's the elevator drop sequence.
Yeah.
So there's apparently 2 of those, and one was down.
Okay.
So
and they probably weren't running as many trains then if the track is disabled. What
made it really grating on our end was like we've done Hagrid's multiple times, right? Like
sure.
This is an extreme situation. I'm sure it's not every single time.
No.
But it's not like we were way out in the line. When we actually got in line, we were in the castle. In the whatever, which is usually like you're 40 minutes, 30 minutes out from boarding.
There's a lot of wait. There was a lot of not moving.
Yeah, there was basically, but the Express line was backed up all the way out of the castle.
Must be nice. I want it to be them.
But so what that ended up creating was you would basically move a foot if you were lucky, and then you'd be waiting 15 minutes just in the same hallway, and then to move another foot. And then repeat because they were pulsing all the Express people they had to get through. Yeah,
so Savannah finished the season of a show, I think.
No way.
So
really?
I was watching. Yeah, because I've done that line. I think that's why I was so pissed. I mean, I was like, I've done this. I know how long this usually takes.
Mm-hmm.
That was like, it was the most. Again, I think it was a mix of everything just going wrong.
Sure. Yeah.
And like Noah said,
It doesn't sound like it was Express's fault.
it was a mix.
Like it would have been just as bad if there was no Express and all those people were just in the standby one line.
But would
it not have been just as bad?
No, because of what Spencer said earlier. That thing of like you're moving. Like at least you would have been. It's a longer line, but you're constantly that thing of just sitting in one spot for 15 minutes
and watching other people move.
And watching. I mean, we counted just to be curious. Like when we got to the merge point, they were letting in about. What was it?
It's like 10 to 74.
10 to 74.
There you go. So that's like this is a uniquely universal issue in that their Express Pass isn't like time sensitive in the way that like I think even with Lightning Lane now it's still you have to enter within an hour or a half hour window.
You have a window.
They try to stagger it still.
Usually, unless you're doing the paid like individualized for the big boy tickets, it's still just return at a certain time.
Right. So Universal needs to potentially get on that of this is a way to potentially fix this situation, but it's a negative feedback loop, right? The more Express they let you buy, the longer and worse the lines get. But by virtue of the line getting longer, more people buy Express, right? So it's like you're incentivizing the issue, and if you get what I'm saying, so it operationally and consumer facing, it's like a big mess, and you have a constant like change in the ratio, right? So you're getting your lead at whatever attraction you're at. I guess this is inside baseball, whatever. I haven't worked there for years, but like you get your lead of like, okay, it's 70-30, 60-40, 50-50, like depending how much influx you get and how many fast passes are sold or whatever. But in the case of Halloween Horror Nights, and I think that's how this conversation is spurred, it gets so bad because it can go as much as like 90-10. And there are moments where like they will clear the entire Express queue before even letting standby move. And I understand you need to prioritize people that are spending more money. But like I said, the line for me where it becomes nearly impossible to have a enjoyable day with a standby ticket, like a normal ticket to an event or a theme park, that's just like unacceptable to me from a consumer perspective. And I guess I don't know how you fix that. An option is the timing, like Disney does, but even then, like they're experiencing problems. No, like the lines are monstrous at Disneyland by all accounts.
I think that's the conversation to have on the operation standpoint. Yeah. Again, like I said, it's not the consumer's fault because like if you're going in for one day, you have to. But then if you have the money,
like why would you not pay for a better experience for your family, right?
The thing is, like Horror Nights, for example, is not a cheap experience.
No,
you're paying $100 to get into that event, right? So if you think about that, and then that if you want to right now, you have one day, you're in LA, whatever, you have one day to do it. You're already shelling out $100 to do it. And let's say you're a family, you're shelling out whatever, $400, whatever it is to do it. And then like essentially, like you were saying, like the Express has made it so unbearable to just do standby that if you really want to get your money's worth, you actually have to pay around $300 to $400 per person to buy the Express on top of that.
And they sell like the minorly discounted after 10 Express or something.
Well, look, I presume Horror Nights, like any business, has revenue targets, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Do we think that by having people charge Express, very much like in colleges, for example, where you're charging the students that pay full tuition, allow private universities to offer good financial aid to certain students, right? Do we think that could be a possibility where if we get rid of Express, we get rid of those whales paying more, the average ticket price just goes up for everyone? And are we okay with that?
In the current day, probably, yeah. I think that would be how they would.
We'd prefer our
tickets. Because we can't take it away now that they've like seen the green, you know, like they're not going to voluntarily take less money.
Would you guys be okay with Express getting just completely gutted, but then our ticket price for normal for everyone just like doubling or tripling? I'd say doubling.
The reason I would say yes is because that at least consumer facing feels like a more honest practice. Like I don't think it's fair that, I mean, for example, even while you were saying with Knott's, right, earlier, we're all sickos, right? If we want to, we know how to do that research and game the system and know what to do.
And there's a certain amount of fun with that, of like the.
But if you're a certain person,
if you're a kind of person like us,
like if you're a theme park head, part of the experience is like, how can I game the lines?
How
right?
how am I going to do this? Right.
That's why you sent me that video by Defunctland, which was really good. And
The
for the first part where he was explaining
Shout out
the
Defunctland.
the system, which he actually touches on later, I kept thinking like, this is kind of like I get that there's a bit of a classism with who can afford more, but there's also like a classism of knowledge here going on. And he actually addresses that later.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
That's why I liked him so much, because he was so candid.
Yeah,
he touched exactly what I was thinking. Like, if you're a family bringing over your, like I grew up abroad, right? It's not like I could come every weekend, right?
Sure.
And my parents both worked, so I feel like the classism of them having to take a lot of time to research and everything.
Oh, I totally agree.
Disappointed.
That is a privilege to have the time, energy, expertise,
That's why I think
passion, whatever. Yeah.
And like,
I think it being free doesn't necessarily solve that classism.
No,
issue.
and
it just makes it a different kind of classism.
and you're not wrong.
That's an
Which is why, like,
interesting
I want this is
perspective.
interesting conversation to have, because it's like,
And I'd argue that most parents would actually likely prefer to just pay a little extra and make sure their kid has a good time without them having to dive in hours.
I don't disagree with
that.
that at all. I think there is a huge convenience to the express
Even when
ticket.
strapped for cash, they're probably saving up for the trip.
yeah.
They'd rather just save up a couple $100 extra ticket.
Within the theme park space, I think that is a slightly different argument. I agree with you in that sense, and you're totally right in the classism. Like that's what we're just saying, right? Like,
This is knowledge classism.
yeah, no, it's like,
Yeah.
and if you're a sicko, you know what you're doing.
Mhm.
If you're not a sicko, like,
Maybe classism isn't the right word, but like, there's a
Yeah,
separation.
sure.
and we actually had a conversation in one of our earlier episodes about Disney in general. In particular, Disney has made going to their parks such a chore.
Yeah, they've kind of done both negatives in this capacity.
Yeah, Disney has double, because it's not
So it's
just
paid and complicated.
it's paid
Yeah,
and complicated.
exactly.
Love that.
Because it's really interesting. Disney does the paid thing, right? But then on top of that, for anything, I mean, I think it's like, even to reserve, let's say you buy, not so much with Disneyland. Disneyland is a different beast because it's locals, right? Disneyland is a primarily local market. So
Even then, though, it's still confusing as hell for people.
but it's not as big of a, like, in Disney World.
Oh, sure.
What I'm talking about
You
is
need
like,
to read a
you're-
damn handbook before you go to Disney
most
World.
people come from abroad, and
Yeah.
now the way they've done it, and this is actually a counterpoint to what I would, arguing, like, maybe going back to fast pass routes the way to do it. Disney World does it to such an extreme that for some of the biggest rides, let's say you pay for fast pass, right? You still have to reserve your time months in advance.
Yeah. The Fast Pass
That's
Plus
wild.
system
That's
was
no,
not.
I'm like, Flight of Passage.
What parent is going to know to do that?
Well,
Flight
so
of
they had a
Passage.
ton of even when it was free. This was how Disney World worked with Fast Pass Plus. You had to buy the damn Magic Band and reserve your attraction times. Yeah, like 2 months in advance or something.
2 months in advance, and you would have to like assume like you were gonna just know that. I mean, that was
you
that
like
was for
mapped
everything.
out every
That
one
was
of your
for-
days.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
food too. Like you wanted to
Yeah.
go to like, let's say your kid, you have like a 6-year-old daughter, right? And you want her to meet a princess. Like that, there's a bunch of restaurants that offer that. Those reservations fly off the shelf. So like you have to reserve again months in advance. You want to get a hotel, you want to get all these. Disney has literally turned it into such a chore to go to their theme parks. And this is not even getting into the fast pass. This is just like I don't know if
They're
it's
doing a
even
reservation system to get into the parks, or has that gone away finally?
I think they were doing that for like, that was a COVID thing.
And they kept it for years.
And they kept it from like, literally they had a lawsuit against them.
Mm-hmm.
Disneyland, this was Disneyland, had a
Yes.
lawsuit against them where, again, Disneyland is a locals market. You would pay, let's say you paid $1,400 for the highest tier annual pass, which is $1,400.
How much
That's
is it?
insanity.
I think it's
What
like
does that come with? Free parking and free.
free parking, and in theory,
Does it come with free food every day, all the time?
no, 15% off. I think
15%?
20 something. It's not that
yeah,
high.
you either
$1,400.
get like a complimentary or
I
like
think it's
discounted
1,500
tickets
right
to
now.
the events, right? Like Doogie
Yeah,
Boogie
but-
and Sweetheart
But
Night
here's
or
the
whatever.
biggest draw that they had, and this was a lawsuit, and this was a criminal thing they did. The biggest reason people bought it was no blackout dates. You can in
Right.
theory go whenever you wanted, but because they implemented this reservation system,
You
the
couldn't.
date could not be blacked out, but they would still prioritize single day sales. So they would just be like, "Oh, sorry, it's sold out that day for you. You can't get a reservation." Even
But
if
just for the whole day or for rides?
the
For
whole
the
day.
whole day.
You couldn't
Oh,
get
you
into
couldn't
the
get
park.
in the park.
No, you couldn't get in the park.
Oh, that's false advertising for showsies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean,
So
unless
that's
they
like-
have some little term. somewhere, but
yeah, I mean, and
they probably have some
they
term where they
maybe
say we
did.
reserve the right,
But still, like, you're paying $1,500 for that pass.
It's nuts. Yeah.
I'd be pissy.
So I
And
think
so,
like they're both charging and selling, not even charging too much. The price, honestly, it's kind of irrelevant to me. Like, if you have the money, great. They're selling too many of them. And by virtue of they're trying to make it so difficult that you don't utilize the thing you're purchasing to the fullest extent, right? Like, it's purposely complicated. It's not like they're like, this is the easiest way to do this. There's no way. The amount of brilliant people working for that corporation, there is no way that is the most efficient, practical way to do it.
Probably not. No, it's not like I love Express. I think mostly what Toby and I would fight about is next time I go to Orlando, I want Express. And Toby's like, no.
Yeah.
No,
because there's a certain amount of like elitism on our part, of like a badge on our shoulder. We're not going to do
exactly.
We're not going to cheat.
Sicko.
Yeah.
I get a sicko. It's a sicko in you.
And like when I was leading knots, I was like this Saturday, where whenever you're not there now, I have to lead.
He is now. He's a cult member, so now they look to him.
And I don't have that like assistant director quality in me to like scold everyone the first hour. And so yeah, it's like I don't want to be annoying, but then that first hour people want to go do their thing. They want to,
and it's like, but again, like
so we didn't get everything done, and I was stressed.
Yeah,
so I understand that wanting to complete the game. But no, dude, like, let's just be little princesses and let's just get it. For the love of God.
No. I mean,
like, if you can't beat them,
join them. Yeah,
that's the. But it's still like what this brings to the overall conversation, and why I think it's so interesting is like, I don't think as a corporation, when you've hit the level of success you have as at these events, I mean, fucking Christ, these events. For Knott's makes up most of their revenue with Scary Farm.
Yeah, it's like 60% in the month of October.
60% of Knott's revenue comes from October. Like this is their. And I mean, Horror Nights.
They told us at the TEA event, it was some crazy figure. We were like,
well,
what?
That also makes sense why they're trying to monetize so aggressively any way they can.
Yeah,
I mean, same with Universal and Disney. Their film divisions have been so.
Oh, their theme parks are so volatile. Yeah,
they're so volatile that it makes sense for them to want to really squeeze as much as they can out of their most consistent business, right?
My question is, like, do you hit a point where you make the guest experience unattainable, not just financially, and like you're saying, like through that knowledge? Like, if you are making it so complicated to do everything, what's the if you're not I'm a sicko, right? Like I like doing the shit. I love the research. But if you're a normal person, does that just become exhausting? Do you just say, I'm not going to spend my X amount of money on this and just go do
Well, I think that's why, Disney aside, I think that's why it's okay to have slightly overpriced Express. Because, I mean,
it deters people naturally.
It deters, but also just like, it's just convenient, right? There's no knowledge classism there. It's money classism, which isn't great either. But I guess, like, it's, swapping one devil for the other, but I don't know. Look, I just don't think there's a viable solution here. Because I don't think if you get rid of an express line, express lines are just so natural everywhere where there's physical infrastructure and queuing. Right, it just always morphs.
But what if you were to do a timed system,
like their original fast pass?
Yeah,
you can still charge for it, but have it.
You can still charge for it. Like Disney still charges for.
Oh, that's interesting.
Disney still charges for their Fast Pass now, and it's not.
It'd be great if they didn't charge. That'd be wonderful.
I mean, yeah, but
let's say for the longest time, but
they're trying to monetize it, right? Like they're trying to monetize it. Whatever.
It's not that I like it. I'm just saying it's.
You understand it's a necessity and work.
I remember when Netflix didn't have an ad tier, everyone was like, "No, they're never gonna start doing ads." Netflix.
Right.
I was like, "They're gonna add an ad tier. Just give it some time." And then, like 5 years later,
you bring an amount of like realism to the conversation, which is wholly necessary and accurate, right? Like there's no way, and you said it great earlier, of like they're not gonna just not hit the same revenue points. Like they're not gonna stop making this much money.
Yeah. I mean, these corporations are run by people who their jobs are beholden to certain metrics, and they're only looking at things through that prism, right? So, it just makes sense for them.
You just said it so well. That's the problem, right? And I understand like these things aren't going to go away, and they're practical and the money aspect of it, and you're 100% right. I guess my issue with it is that it's like how airlines overbook, right? And every so often,
Wait.
yes,
this is airline. That's worth burning capitalism down.
To me, this is, yeah, I totally agree. But to me, it's a similar experience or thought process, right? Of, well, we'll sell all the tickets and surely someone will cancel. Surely not everyone will rush to Hagrid's after it's been down for 2 hours. Oh shit, everyone rushed to Hagrid's after it's been down for 2 hours, and now the line is 5 hours long, so we have to let nothing but Express go, right? This is an exaggerated example, but
as long as you're in line, they still let you through these rides. If I'm not mistaken.
You're not
right. It's not like American Airlines. They'll rebook you.
Right. Right.
Like if you're in line, you'll get it.
Do you imagine that though? If they were, I mean,
you might have to watch the full season of Stranger Things in line to get through your time, but you're gonna get what you paid for.
Right. If you all of season 4, all the 90-minute 5 final episodes or whatever, the full feature length series.
You're watching all the Harry Potter movies to get on this one Harry Potter.
What ride were we on? I was in line with Lane for something, and I was like, dude, we've been in line the entire runtime of the Batman. It was like 2 hours and 52 minutes. I think I said that. I was like, we've officially eclipsed the Batman in wait. Which is like my favorite of long movies that I can think of.
And so, like, what I think is, like, how do you make it? I'm not saying get rid of it. Like you said, it's not possible.
Yeah.
How do you make it more consumer friendly for the average consumer?
If you want to raise the price, and sorry I cut you off, but
if
you want to raise the price and sell less, I'm okay with that. I don't necessarily share the sentiment of freaking out about theme park prices or concession prices in a theme park or whatever. Like, there's a certain reality of that's just like, it's like going to the movies, right? Popcorn's $10. Like, that sucks, but like, what are they gonna do? That's how movie theaters make money. They don't make money on tickets.
Yeah, no, you're right.
You know, so like, if theme park break-even points, I assume from a day-to-day operation, is really high. Right?
Oh,
like
fuck
power,
especially for the big boys. For the big boys,
like even think about our scale. The three of us have worked on. Like, there's a break even every day of you're employing 3 to 4 people to work a shift. You know, you have to breaks and whatever. Like, you break even at a certain amount of tickets. Theme parks, I assume they hit it, or else they wouldn't be a thing. But like, it's high, right? It's got to be high. So it just, to me, I would be fine with raising the prices. I'd be fine if they made the theme park tickets more expensive, but just sold less. Right, like the issue is they're overselling it. Like with Horror Nights, this was a famous blunder this year. I don't know if you've heard about Noah. I've mentioned it to Toby like once or twice, but prior to the opening of Horror Nights in Orlando, they do this thing called Premium Scream Night or Premiere Scream Night, where they sell it
I think this showed up on my TikTok where it like was really bad.
Yeah, they sell it to basically locals only for the night before it opens, and it's
$300 ticket,
$300,
right?
and it's supposed to be like lower capacity, and it's supposed to kind of be like a dream experience at Horror Nights, right? It's premium. They oversold it to shit to where it was basically like a normal night of Horror Nights, and it was like a PR disaster for them. Like you said, it was all over TikTok, Twitter, whatever, X, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But it was all over the internet, Reddit. But and like that is the kind of microcosm of this whole thing of like that you're offering a premium experience, but it's still like fairly regular because you've oversold it. And I guess like an example, like think about like restaurants have reservations, right? And like that's the thing we all accept. Like, why would you not have that? Especially some restaurants you have to pay for a reservation, like a fancy restaurant. Acceptable, we get it. But there's always tables.
I've been to some restaurants where I have a reservation and then I still have to wait 15 minutes.
And that sucks, right?
It makes,
it's the
makes
worst.
your blood boil. God, tier.
And
so if I bought tickets to Premiere Scream Night and I waited an hour for Jason, I'd be furious. You know,
you paid 200. What a markup of twice the price.
You basically paid for 2 tickets to a normal September-October evening. It got the same experience, but a day early. Like, congrats.
And so maybe that's where you might start seeing if things change, because you're right. Like what you were saying earlier was if you pay the higher price, you should be getting the premium experience, right? But let's say this continues, and now on average, this is not a one night thing. You are getting, and this is like you said, Reddit, it's all over socials, where even the express passes are waiting an average of 30 to 40 minutes per house. And so then where is your added value?
I think at that point they're going to have to add more houses.
You can't. I mean, Hollywood, how do you do that?
Orlando, you could do it.
Orlando,
that's the thing with Epic is particularly a problem because there's 10 attractions.
Airbnb some of the neighbors.
If Hollywood started doing like sprung tents on the back lot again, like they used to do back in the day, they could do it.
Oh, in the and everyone loved that. That was like one of the
awesome
best
when you got to
parts
walk
of
through
Hollywood.
Like the toxic tunnel or whatever it was called.
Yeah, where it was like, and you'd get to walk the back lot. It was a really, and it also like, I don't know why they stopped doing that. I think it's probably production, but it's also stupid because we're at like the worst production timeline right now
also,
in
like, the
LA
Universal
history.
lot, half of it is always just kind of there.
It's empty, yeah. And so, but
I'm sure they'd make more money using those.
so
that space for
what that
lifting.
also did when they did that is it almost added a third. You know, you have upper lot and the lower lot. When they did that, it almost added a third lot to the park. So
and you're
people
spreading people out,
Yeah.
right?
And so, like, now you've been there. We've all been there in Hollywood's Park. For anyone who hasn't, on a really busy night, there's times you can't even walk. Like, it
Same
is
with
a
Disneyland
line
Park.
to just
like, it's
get.
just too small for
But when they did that, you know, you didn't have that issue as much because you had a bunch of people siphoning off to the actual back lot, and that was a big space. And there was vendors. There was like a scare zone in there
like
too.
food booths
So
back
like
there
it
too.
became, and I don't know why they haven't. It's there are workarounds. I just think at a certain point it is like when does the experience get bad enough? I don't, but that's the issue. I don't know if it's never going to hurt the bottom dollar. Express is going to sell out.
They're never going to let it
from
do that, right? Like that's never going to be the solution. Is they go, you know what? We've been dicks. Like,
yeah, no, they're
that's
not.
gonna
They
happen,
have to
right?
toe the line to where if the experience gets bad enough, like even the express tickets won't sell. So that's the line they're towing.
And that's what I was
Right,
saying earlier. Like that line is very thin, and you can easily dip over one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna try and squeeze out as much as the consumer will tolerate.
Yeah.
So how much pain and suffering will the consumer tolerate where they stop coming back?
Yeah, and like you said, I
Right.
mean that's their responsibility to handle, right? That is their job. That's what they're supposed to do, to run a business. So you would think like adding more attractions would be a solution in theory of Halloween Horror Nights, like adding additional houses.
I don't know because there is I don't know if you guys know the studies they've done on traffic.
Please.
I think Defungland touched on this, where in general, if you add another lane to a highway, it doesn't help with congestion because it just invites more demand.
Right.
So in general, you have to give other alternative like public transport. I wonder if adding more houses would kind of correlate to another lane where it doesn't help, or if it would
Yeah, and if the
correlate to
event
public
is
transport where it
bigger,
does help.
You know what I will
then this
say
capacity
is,
get higher and they sell more tickets.
and maybe this is why I'm not sure if
I think it's a mix between prices and capacity. I think
in capacity. I think there are solutions that are not necessarily houses. Florida, at the very least, as an event, has more to do than just houses.
And you can walk around. It's
No,
never
I
so
wish-
congested you
right,
can't
because
move.
Florida, like
I wish they'd have more rides open.
not even just rides. Florida has. I mean, Hollywood now thankfully has a show, but Florida has 2 shows, and their scare zones are like scare zones. Hollywood has what, 2 scare zones?
Well, Hollywood technically has that one show at the beginning where they do all the fire.
Yeah, but
That-
that's an opening ceremony. That's not a show. I'm talking about something that.
It's a show moment,
called
though.
the
He's
water
right.
show,
They
I
do
should
it throughout the night 3 or 4 times. It is a thing.
Yeah, it's something you have to find a way to siphon people off to want to do things that aren't just the houses at that point, right? Because I mean, yeah, you have The Purge in Hollywood, and that definitely, I'm sure, takes some people, but it's also the same show it's been the same show for what, 5 years at this point?
The 3 years I've been going, it's been this.
It's been this, I don't know,
3,
3
I'm not
years,
sure if
right?
it
It's
was maybe 4.
still, but it's the same show. There aren't any real entertainment offerings like that. That's where I think Epic is great. Epic, right? Like Epic has a bunch of really good rides, but the lands themselves are almost a ride. Right, like How to Train
they're
Your Dragon.
so big that there's so
And How to Train Your Dragon, you can spend time walking around and then you also have the toothless interactions.
Oh, I had a cake pop at the
Oh,
how was that?
Dragonland. That was crazy.
I had the mac and cheese
but then
cone.
you've got the entrainable dragon back there. You have a big show, and then you have the Potter show too. You have something else that siphons.
We didn't do the Potter show.
Yeah, it's one thing we missed.
I'll do that next year.
And this is where like Disney, I think in particular, also I will give them credit here. They have a ton of entertainment offerings. At
It's
least their
true.
castle parks that like
Yeah.
you have a parade. You've got you've got a ton of stuff.
Disney has a lot of rides. I didn't realize that until going. I'd been to the Orlando parks as a kid. This is the first time as an adult.
Disneyland is crazy.
How many rides Disneyland has within such a short footprint?
It's
No, so
ridiculous. It's
we were
so
talking about like
compact,
that's the reason that like I think no park can ever really compete with Disneyland because like I've been to the Orlando Disney parks too. They don't come close. Disneyland is like what, 30 rides in that park?
It's 28 or 29. Yeah.
28 rides plus entertainment. You know, so like
and a lot of like on the spot entertainment too, like the Dapper
but that
Dans and the
entertainment
jazz bands and whatnot.
siphons. And so, like, if you're an event, I feel like that's why Hollywood gets so unbearable. Hollywood, I don't think you have anything to do besides houses, really.
Universal Hollywood.
Hollywood, yeah.
I mean, most of the attractions are open. At least, well, Potter's is Potter open? Yeah, Potter's open. Mummy.
Also a lot of the rides here feel very kiddie, and you can't really have those open during horror nights. No one's gonna want to like you have.
They don't open
Minions
Secret
isn't
Life of
open.
Pets or Minions.
What is there that really caters to adults here? It's like
Potter and Jurassic World. That's
Mummy,
it.
Potter and Jurassic World.
That's it. Maybe Transformers if it's open.
Maybe Simpsons.
That's also. Is Simpsons even open during horror nights?
Simpsons isn't open in Orlando because it's a queue. I think it's open in Hollywood.
Yeah, but like in general, at least half the rides are just like very kid specific. You can't have those open during horror nights. Doesn't
they also like if they wanted to get people to siphon, they could. Like for years they did not open Potter during horror nights because they didn't want people like coming just to horror nights paying a cheaper ticket and getting to do Potter. They're doing that with Nintendo now. Nintendo is still was Nintendo open this year when we went?
No, Nintendo's always an add-on.
Yeah, Nintendo's an add-on. So like that's another thing where like you could have people coming in and that's an area that would siphon people out and at least give more to do. You don't even have bars that you have like what 2 bars I think in horror nights, big ones in Hollywood.
Well, you have the whole like circle
one.
and you have the Jurassic area as a bar.
Do
they
have
have the drink carts like Orlando? I don't remember.
Do they have?
No, they don't have the. Do they? I don't remember them having the like they don't. I don't know if they have the Clown Cafe.
Oh.
No, they don't have the. So Orlando is but that's one of the smart things Orlando does is like they put in these booths everywhere for food, and people will wait for. I mean, we waited.
Yeah.
I mean, they were good. They were. I mean, not gonna lie, that corn dog was fucking.
There was a line for the corn dog,
and but it was fast. It was like
it went fast,
and it
I'm
was
a fan
worth
of
it.
the LRTista booth,
but like
express line for corn dog.
Oh my god, it'll happen someday.
I'd pay that.
Well, they do mobile order. It sort of is an express for food of sorts.
I would pay that.
But I mean that the food, the way they lead into like all these food offerings in Florida. I think Hollywood has it to an extent, but not as heavily themed.
I mean, Florida has a whole section of the fucking park that's just food booths, basically.
Yeah. So, but that again, like people are going to not. I just feel like. And it's I don't know. I think of all the ones I've been to, Orlando was rough this year, but nothing has been as rough as Hollywood has been.
You haven't done Hollywood this year yet.
No, Hollywood have been the last few years. I mean,
Hollywood's been rough, and I was not wearing my best Asics when I went. So that was an issue.
I mean, I was talking.
My dogs were barking.
I'm a theme park nerd, and I love haunts more than anything. And I have not gone. I live across the street from fucking Hollywood.
That's crazy. You haven't gone.
And I still have not gone.
We can see it.
Yeah, we can see it from here. I see the lights and stuff going off in my apartment.
You can see the great minion protector of the land.
Oh yeah, but I have just not wanted to deal with Hollywood Horror Nights this year.
No, it's been rough.
You're gonna deal with it in about 2 weeks, champ.
I know. I'll deal with it with you. I got you. But that tells you like, and I'm a diehard.
Sure.
You guys won't be able to get everything done in one night.
Yeah, I know.
You guys gotta get 2 nights, unless you guys break your religion and go express.
Who can say?
We'll see.
Who can say?
Maybe I can talk.
You legitimately might have to. If
I know.
You want to do a one night.
Yeah, because like I just don't have it in me. Like these the last year and the year before that, a few years here, I would frequent Fear It.
Oh yeah, we did together when I lived in LA a few years ago.
But even then, like, dude, I don't think I just got to a point where I was like, I would do the whole shebang to get there. And then I would stay for 2 hours, like do one house and fuck off. I think we would do that. Like we just get to a point where like everything is 90 minutes and we don't feel like, and now it's even worse. Like now it's just like Hollywood has just become, I think Orlando again has enough where it's bad, but it's not, it feels like
the
Hollywood,
house queues are getting pretty bad too.
They're getting real bad.
I think like, in terms of like walking around and like insanity, it's certainly more managed,
and that's just a space
especially thing. The operational this year with Rip Ride Rocket being torn down.
Oh,
that
dude,
bottleneck is awful.
Dude, oh my god, that I don't know who at Universal Creative or who at the park was like, let's close this down
park
right before
management.
Horror Nights.
Creative doesn't do with that. Yeah.
No, who at the park side was like, let's close before Horror Nights and just have the worst bottleneck you've ever seen in your life, because like it used to be pretty.
A better solution than that walkway. It's such a mess.
You weren't there, you don't remember it, but like before that all that mess to get to those back of the house.
The entrances were way out by the food booths. You just walked through the queues there.
Yeah, it was much easier to get to houses. You didn't have that. You know what I'm talking about? Like that clusterfuck we had when you wanted to get to like Terrifier, Five Nights at Freddy's, Graves of Flesh. All there was like that weird thing you had to. Before that, those entrances were spread out.
It was kind of interesting to see a demolished roller coaster, though.
That is true. I enjoyed that.
It was kind of, I don't know if that would have really impacted the lines.
No, it's not the line.
Maybe the bottleneck.
It's the bottleneck.
But the bottlenecks don't really bother me. It's more so the lines.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know.
I think
we lost a good tribute store.
That's true. The tribute store.
A crime.
Was so bad.
I've never seen the other tribute store. So.
Dude, the tribute store when they do it right
is yeah, it was huge.
It's a maze. It's a maze level theming, but for shopping.
They gotta make their bottles and their coffee mugs machine washable. That's just ridiculous.
Oh, you mean the Blinky cups?
I would have
no Blinky cups this year.
They had a bottle. I would have bought more merch if it was machine washable. That's the problem. That's
you
the
listen
real
in Universal machine washable cups.
That's the real issue.
That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know how
what you said though about rides opening. I mean, the perfect example is Knott's, right? Like Knott's gets packed, but like every single ride is open during Knott's Scary Farm, and it clearly has an effect because every time I've ever gone to Knott's Scary Farm, I've done 90%, if not all, the houses I wanted to, and this is with buffet, right, which is an add-on. But even then, it's like $40. It's not another ticket price.
We just talk about how good
buffet is the best.
Buffet
50 now.
Is it 50 now?
It's still. I still think the value's there because you get a meal. You get a fuck.
The ticket's like 70, something like that.
70,
77. I think I paid close to. I think I paid close to. And parking has gone up to 40.
Oh, geez. Okay. Yeah. Well.
Aside from the early entry advantage, like you get a buffet, and it's not bad buffet. It's good food, and I think when I did buffet last time, we got cups, didn't we?
Maybe did we get freestyle cups?
We did get cups.
We got cups, right? That you could use. You could use the rest of the night.
We got cups.
Oh,
yeah,
you're right. Yeah, you're
and
right.
so like, but that still requires some knowledge, you know, like
getting the buffet. You're not wrong, you know.
But also like this year, I kept in mind, let's do the back of the park first
because it's gonna fill up, right?
Right.
Yeah.
We did Grimoire. We did
Grimoire.
No, we did the 20s one, room 13.
Oh yeah.
We did the ones in the back first.
What's the one?
We didn't wait much for either.
What's the one called? The oh my god, I like
Mesmer?
it a lot. Mesmer.
Yeah, that one's going away.
It is.
I don't know.
It's
crazy.
It's time.
Grimoire said 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It was a walk on.
They lie. That's what I'm telling you. It's like you're directed to lie because if the line is short, they want to keep it short. They want
45
to,
minutes, and then it was a walk-on. What the hell was that all about? What the Heliante? What the Halle Berry? What the...
We had the same thing with the Miller High. Well, we took your advice with Five Nights at Freddy's. We did it last, and it was like a 90-minute posted wait time. We waited like 40.
Yeah.
For Five Nights at Freddy's?
Yeah, in Florida.
all the kids go home.
I wrote all this shit down.
Oh, yeah. Noah actually tracked how off the wait times were in Florida.
Brilliant. Now you can see it. It's a complete farce.
Look what we've done to this poor kid.
I know. Well, when we started recording, before we were recording, Noah said, "Yeah, the facade was really good." I was like, "He just said facade. It's over." That's a wrap.
Jason was. So the first time we did Jason was 25 minutes. ETA we waited 20. Galkin was 45 minutes. We waited 30. Fallout was 50 minutes. We waited 45. El Artista was 70, we waited 50. Graves of Flesh was 35, we waited 30. Dolls was 25, we waited 10. Hatchet and Chains was 35, we waited 10. Five Nights at Freddy was 90, we waited 40. Jason was our second run was 45, we waited 25. Terrifier was 65, we waited 85.
Okay, so that's when it goes up over advertised. That
was the only one.
That's when you get like the angry guest for sure.
Yeah. Dude, that's the one that broke him.
That's the one that broke me. Yeah, that's the one where I started fighting him. Like, can we please get Express next year and stop fucking around? Like, this is ridiculous.
This is why they overshoot. It's both like nefarious to induce the purchasing of Express Pass, but it's also guest experience related in a positive way.
I wanted Art to
want it to be
at that moment.
You want guests to feel it shorter, right?
I wanted him to just slice me in the middle through the legs.
Did you guys ever see him this is just a side note,
We
but
saw
I see videos of him all the time walking around the
He's
park.
all over the place in Hollywood. In Orlando, we only saw him once.
We saw him
I never
once,
saw
and he
him
was
in Orlando.
surrounded. He was like, the poor guy was just
Yeah.
like.
and Hollywood, you see multiples of him all over the place.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that then.
But then in Knott's, let me tell you guys our wait times in Knott's.
Yeah, it's actually great. I'm super curious.
Goring 20 said 5 minutes. It was a walk on, but I believe 5 minutes means walk on.
Yeah, it's fine.
Grimoire 45 minutes, walk on. Calico 90 minutes, but we only did 40.
The ride?
No, the house.
There's a house in Calico?
The
The hanging.
Origins.
The hanging, yeah.
Origins.
The hanging oranges, yeah.
Mesmer 30 minutes. We only waited 9. Bloody Mary 100. Yeah, Bloody Mary said 120 minutes. We waited 29 minutes. Like, I don't know what they're smoking at Knott's, but like 120. We waited 29.
That's not even close.
At
That's
that
like,
point, I wasn't happy about I just felt lied to. So
well,
then
Cedar Fair is like even. I mean, Not Scary Farm is like the best thing that whole company probably does.
oh my
if
god,
we're
the
being
Yankees are
honest.
going to win.
But that's crazy.
yeah, no,
but
it was an 89-minute difference.
yeah,
if I've
Cedar
done my
Fair
math right.
operations are just nightmarishly bad. Like
That
when you're at
Eight Fingers
Knott's and you're
9
in line for Ghost Rider and it's not moving and it's 200 minutes, you're like, this is a
No,
special hell.
I did not do any of the roller coasters. They were all really high.
Yeah, no, never do any rides at Not Scary Farm. Ghost Rider becomes like a people eater because it takes people in that line and they're stuck there for the rest of the whole night.
And that's nice. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. 8 Fingers 9 was 30 minutes. We did 10 minutes.
Wow.
Zoo, granted, we did the night version. Zoo was a 150-minute wait.
Oh my gosh.
We did a 73-minute wait. And then Widow we did last. It was 5 minutes walk.
Yeah, I've noticed that with Knott's. But Knott's also doesn't have a digital system.
It's
like,
not as
Horror Nights is-
yeah, correct.
No, their app is never right.
No, the app
a
is like
joke.
so
Yeah.
bad.
Their
The
app
app
is
is a
I just use
joke.
it for directions.
Yeah.
but they
I don't
don't
trust it anymore.
they just don't have the infrastructure either that Universal does to like accurately
makes sense,
predict
though.
wait times. Like especially because Knott's is less conga line too. It's sort of like up to like the employees' discretion of how many people go in and when and whatnot. So there's an element.
Well, Knott's also is in the house design is a lot less conga line because like they're not a boo hole house. Their
there's a lot less
houses they're
open.
more
They're smaller.
You're more, they're open. You have more characters walk. I do love their house design in Knott's. That is very much a thing that they like figure out how to just. And I think like some of them have alternate paths. I could be fucking wrong. Did any have alternate paths? Do you remember?
Where not?
Like where paths split.
There's been times where I've been
Not that I
confused where to
remember.
go, but I
Oh.
don't know that there's alternate paths.
There was one moment in Mesmer where one of the scare actors grabbed this group of girls and like led them into a separate room. And then I had to walk around that room. It was just like the pathway, and the pathway goes this way, but then if you go straight, there's like a door which is kind of hidden, and then there's like a little room there, and then there's another door right on the way out.
So Knott's used to do this thing called, and I'm not sure if they still do. I don't think they do anymore. And it was included. I think it was like if you paid a higher ticket price, you got this thing called the Golden Key, and each maze had secret rooms that you could only access if you had that pass.
Oh, that's cool.
Which I think that's a fun.
That's an
what's it
interesting
called?
alternative. Of like, do you legitimately provide an extra experience to where you're not invading whatever the same space as the average guest?
If you add that kind of extra, and then that's the thing with like the buffet, which I think is really fun. Like you're paying extra and you're getting that extra hour.
At Orlando, we still paid extra
Oh,
for
because
the hotel.
the hotel thing, yeah.
Toby kept saying about the hotels. We probably would have paid less money doing Express in Orlando one night and just staying off property. Then I like that we stayed at the property. It was cool. But and especially because we did parks and everything.
I will say
for Epic,
for
it helped a lot.
Epic,
For
it
Epic-
saved our ass.
for Epic, it was really helpful.
Yeah,
But
because Epic's far from everything else. Yeah.
No, it was.
I do think the premium we paid to do the hotel
So that was
was probably ended up spending more money than if we had just
But-
done Express.
But I think with Spencer and Lane, like when we did have that early entry, it did pay off to
Oh, for
have that
sure.
extra hour.
Well,
It
we
used
got
to.
it at Epic with Did you get it at Epic with Aventura too?
Yeah, we got into Epic, and that saved our ass with Donkey
I
Kong.
do think it
okay.
was
we
good.
only got to.
I enjoyed doing it. I like staying on property. Like I don't mind that we paid extra.
No. I'm just saying, like the value for us in previous editions of Horror Nights was a lot more apparent.
I think things are changing.
No, I think you're right.
I think maybe it's the properties they're going after, like Five Nights at Freddy's and Terrifier.
Just larger crowds.
But it
yeah.
just there's a something happened this year. Everybody's going. Everybody's going. It's not our special thing anymore.
No.
Everybody's going.
That is like we've all suggested solutions and debated and whatnot, but that is the crutch, right? Or the crux of this argument, conversation, debate, whatever, is there's just too many people going. And so something has to give one way or the other because like we managed it, but like I've gone to Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando for the last 4 or 5 years. Every year I've gone for 2 to 3 nights and I've done every house twice, if not 3 times. This year I barely did everything once. And I was there pretty much full nights. I mean, the second night we got there a little bit late, but like we stayed till 2 both days. And
do we think Orlando's doable in one night?
I think if you're really smart,
but I mean, maybe if you do the stay in Scream and you have a ticket to USF, then yes.
What
but
about
if you're
standard?
Gonna go and wait in the line standard, I don't think so.
I think you might miss one of the heavy hitters, but I think it's possible. I think not
you have to
all
choose between FNAF and Terrifier.
I think it's FNAF and Terrifier because like towards the again at the beginning of the if you are smart, we were still able to do Jason with minimal wait. We got
That's
Jason
crazy.
done.
That was our worst
Jason,
wait.
we got done like what 20? I think we never waited more than.
What if they do the Horror Unleashed model where it's one entry?
That's an option too. Where they cap how many times you can do the house.
That's so interesting.
And then you pay extra. And then instead of paying express, you pay extra to do unlimited.
And also like timed entry to the park.
Do you guys? Can I ask you a question? Do you guys think Horror Unleashed is trying this year to see how it pans out? To see if it's something.
I'm sure they're going to try small scale things with it. Absolutely.
Like a one entry thing.
Yeah. Do you think Horror Unleashed maybe could?
Wasn't express a one entry thing?
It's always been a entry thing,
yes.
right? Yeah.
Unless you buy unlimited, it is. Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
You think that could be like?
I don't think that's like their purpose in.
No, I don't think so.
I think Unleashed is just literally the space.
Oh yeah,
Unleashed.
Unleashed is.
They're forced to have to do only one because there's like no room in there.
But do I think they'll test out like different installation techniques and whatnot with the houses to maximize capacity and whatnot?
No, the houses are.
They're indoors. There's got to be a fire limit.
Oh yeah.
Also
the house design in Unleashed is not any different from a regular Horror Nights design.
Okay. No, I'm just saying like they might try things out. I don't know.
I barely remember those houses. I'm honest.
They're
Unleashed
is such an interesting.
It sounds like.
It was good. I enjoyed it.
But it's nothing. It's
a fun way to kick off the season.
Yeah, but it wasn't anything like.
I don't remember the houses.
I remember
Scarecrow. We were like getting smacked in the face with like fake corn.
Yeah, they do that. I'm gonna go in November.
That's really. And then there's that whole like right now rumor going around of what they're gonna do. We were talking about this last episode of the Epic model they're thinking about trying.
Sure. Yeah.
Which is a crazy thing if that goes through. And how does that? So the rumor is they're going to basically make getting into Celestial Park free, but then you have to.
Wasn't that what Disney used to do, where you could pay admission?
That's where e-ticket came from. Yeah, it's almost going back in time.
This is something they wanted to do at the start. Didn't, but now it's something that I've seen discussed again of basically isolating these lands as e-ticket booklets essentially, right, to enter. But I think it would be one ticket for all the lands, but you could also just go hang out in Celestial Park without it.
Is Epic considering doing that?
Yeah.
How you know?
Well, it's just rumors, right? But
the rumors?
It's rumors, yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if I like that still for a theme park. I think that
it is effectively returning to the original model. It's like the carnival model, right?
Yeah, I like the early Disneyland model, yeah.
I just don't know if there's enough value in each of those lands individually.
Not yet. No. But if they add
there's really not.
Theming's great, but like
you have what?
But it'd be a ticket. You get to all the lands with the ticket. But it just basically they're just making Celestial Park City Walk is a better way to present it.
City Walk, but with like a cover charge.
No, you could enter Celestial Park for free.
Oh, and enter. Oh, you enter Celestial Park for free, and then you can choose entering one of the lands.
No, you can enter all the effectively the. And correct me if I'm wrong, Toby. The theme park ticket would be access to the 4 lands, but you can go meander Celestial Park, shop, eat, whatever for free.
That's right, Stardust.
Yeah, What about Stardust and
the
Constellation Carousel? Yeah, those are two start.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. It's an interesting thing. I mean, look, they're clearly cognizant of like
They have to be. Premium Scream went viral. It was so bad. Like they have to know this is a incoming fork in the road of what do you do?
they're gonna hit this at some point. I mean,
it's
Disney's
a
been
good
getting
problem to have. They've made the events in theme parks so well received that you're getting normies to attend. Oh my God, Lane Calder has joined. So welcome to the chat. Give us your like quick summary of opinion, thoughts about this incoming fork in the road of Express being oversold, both at Halloween Horror Nights, but also just at day tickets to both Disney and Universal parks. Like queues are getting unmanageable, right?
Sure.
Between fast pass and standby ticketing. So what say you? What are your thoughts on that? Is there a solution? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's something to be said about the attempted rise of virtual queuing as well, as a way
We haven't
to
touched on that.
as a way to try to almost make you see less of that firsthand, I feel like, but also in a way where they can now sell as much as they want because you have no gauge of how much of it they've sold. I mean, the virtual queue conversation is interesting because then you're able to explore and do other things while in theory waiting for a ride. And we've seen that play out with several different, kind of rule sets, some of them more effective than others. I feel like the big example we've seen so far was when, the Galaxy's Edge opened and they really tried to go for that, to some growing pains and whatnot. But I think that if that really gets developed and rolled out, then it could be a completely different conversation. But
You work in Halloween events. Like, what do you see that as something you could do at Halloween events?
yeah, I think. Look, I think if you have a brick and mortar event, it's probably easier to implement that sort of thing. But
Versus a temporary.
yeah, for setup teardown events, that would be a lot of infrastructure needed for that for sure. I think, I mean, there's certain events that I work on that I think would be big enough to warrant that. There's also, you know, smaller events that perhaps not. I think that would really depend on the flow of your event. Like if you have an event where people come in, do a circle and leave, then, there's no need for that. But if you have an event that's very much more, set up like, I
Semi-permanent
guess,
structures.
yeah, or if there's multiple attractions, right? It's like there's plenty of setup teardown events, even in the Halloween or Christmas spaces, if it's a seasonal thing where, like those Christmas light shows, there's no need for a virtual queue there, because you're coming in, you're walking around or driving through an area and then leaving. And with Halloween stuff, I think that if you've got multiple haunted houses playing out, then yeah, there's probably a conversation for that. If you have a midway or some sort of central hub area where people are buying drinks, then you probably want to maximize the amount of time that people are able to spend in there. So I think, people don't really think about the capital that it takes to invest in like virtual queuing. Um, it's a lot. It's just like for sure, because that's usually you're outfitting that to another company, probably the same one that handles a lot of your ticketing stuff, and that's building out software and hardware usage around the park for that. So like the theme parks that have taken that on, I think that's kind of why they're the only ones you've seen kind of foray into that, is because it does take a lot of investment. I think depending on how the virtual queue thing goes, it'll be really interesting. Right now, I feel like virtual queuing is very much catered mostly to theme parks and how they're constructed. I think if you had, for example, like you were saying, Spencer, a Halloween event where you had multiple haunted houses or attractions in the same space, then for sure, like you could probably, implement that in some way, even if it is a setup teardown. I think that what you find a lot with temporary events is that the the juice is not exactly worth the squeeze in that situation.
What about for Horror Nights?
For Horror Nights, then yeah, I think absolutely. Honestly, the thing with like Hollywood is that if everybody's virtual queuing, where the hell do you put everyone? Because
that's so true.
Yeah.
like there's no way
Virtual
that.
queues also have a learning curve, though.
Oh yeah,
You know?
absolutely. 100%.
Rise the resistance.
Right, and the resistance. Maybe for Horror Nights, where it's more young people who have the time to do that, but like
Yeah.
for parks,
But I
like,
think
I think most parents would just rather pay a premium than have to.
Yeah,
Do
no, this goes
Yeah,
back
but
to what you
figure
were
it out.
saying of there's a certain amount of
I think there's a knowledge classes in there,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
different than the money one, but
but for Horror Nights, which is like that's what we're focusing on because that's the most
Okay.
egregious I think
Sure.
we've seen that's the most egregious overselling of Express and of Friday Line passes, and it's creating a clear issue.
Terrifier Orlando broke me.
Yeah, it killed them.
Yeah.
It killed them.
Yeah.
Like I think if you did virtual queue there, I mean, here's the other question though. If you did virtual queue, that would definitely take a hit to your Express passes at that point because people would not be have to buy them as much. I
But
feel
what
like
if then it's another tier of ticket? What if
A
there is
paid
normal
virtual queue,
queue,
but that's
and then
not-
there's a third lane, which is the virtual queue lane?
I mean that's easier because then I'm not paying. I would be more inclined to do that if it's like a $40 add-on. I think Disney
it's
is
a
like
middle price
$30.
tier
Right.
between.
If it's a $40 add-on versus $200, which it Express costs, I would do it, and then I think you could find a way to increase your F&B, your food and beverage
sales,
Yeah. offerings.
That's the thing is
so
that
that
if they
people
can,
are waiting there, and that's where you're making up some more revenue as well.
if
right?
you're
Couldn't
able
that be a
to,
solution?
if you're able to do the cost benefit analysis of that and say like, okay, well, if we implement the capital needed to fund this virtual queue system, the logistics involved in creating another lane in each of our queues for that, and then but look at all this extra money we're going to make on alcohol and food. So especially in an event like that where obviously the alcohol's flowing everywhere you go, and they like the theme parks for sure, especially Universal with serving alcohol at Horror Nights is really made for that. They've got that license to serve wherever they want, and so
Did you know Hollywood used to not have that like 5 years ago or something?
yeah,
like that?
you mentioned that, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Hollywood used to not sell alcohol for years. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild to me. But I mean, with all of those other avenues of revenue, like you probably could, convince a board to implement that. I think that
and then you just
it would be interesting because, I like Spencer. We were talking to that waiter at Epic who said that they were messing with virtual queue stuff on the staff night. Is that correct?
Well, so for all of the staff previews, like team member previews for Battle of the Ministry, it was all virtual queue.
Okay.
And it was apparently terrible.
Yeah, well, exactly.
And the
That's the thing is
technology
that
was not there
things,
yet.
I'm sure.
but
I think
yeah.
right now it's kind of at a stage where it would take a lot of commitment to be like, let's implement this new software that already we have evidence of it's being finicky, and
Well, it's also
implement
just
that for a
getting
2-month
overloaded, though.
event. Like
If it's sold for a limited amount of as a ticketing option and it's capped, then you maybe I mean I don't know the Jack S about app development, but maybe it can withstand the traffic more than if every single person in the park is constantly crashing the app.
What could be done is like you do like a limited you cap some more Express, so you lower the amount of Express tickets that are sold. You still keep that as an option, and you keep this timed Express or whatever you want to fucking call it, and you implement it very subtly for 1 year.
Like
just see how it goes.
Right.
Like
one house, like the big IP house gets it, and you see.
Yeah,
how it
like
goes.
you can pay an extra $10 for like 3 houses, like whatever. It's like this year, right? Like
$10 is a little delulu.
I was
okay,
gonna
fine.
say it's gonna be like 50 plus
sure.
at least.
You can pay. No, I'm saying like it's the first year. You can pay an extra $40. You can pay an extra $40, and they sell limited tickets, but there's $40 just a timed Express for FNAF, Terrifier, and Jason. Let's just say, like, well, I'm just using that as an example.
It's called the IP ticket.
The IP tickets, right? Like, I think if you tried it and like got through the growing pains, I mean, if it was still the same amount of Express as you would normally see because you capped Express a little to make up for that, it could work. Hollywood's particular because Lane, what the fuck do you do with those people?
Right.
Also, where do you put
like
through a queue in Hollywood?
Oh no, I'm thinking like how it could work is like in that scenario.
I think you would return and get in the skip the line. Yeah, you would return
it's an
and just
express
get in
ticket,
line
but you
for
have
express.
a time to come back.
Right.
So like, it's a $40 thing. You don't get express for everything. You get a one-time return to the big 3 houses. You're paying $40 instead of $200. And let's say whatever, I get a return time at like 11 p.m. I'm there at 9, but I have a guarantee that I can get in the express line at that time.
Like you're basically
how many of those can you realistically make though?
That's what you have to
and then they'll sell out like a decade in advance.
You would have to test that out. You would have to test it. Yeah.
We're just talking about it's essentially the OG Disney Fast Pass system.
Yeah,
that's essentially what it is.
And that was when it worked best. And then when they monetized it, which, as Noah astutely put, was always going to happen.
Right.
It's a natural progression.
Right.
Then you've got this problem to solve, right?
Like, I mean, Spencer and and Toby and last time when we all went to Knott's, and Sharon and I got the skip the line, and you guys didn't, like.
Yeah, you got the fright lane.
Like, but that's
I remember that. Fuck you for that.
I was there too. I remember that.
Yeah, but think about that, like how we got that, but you guys didn't want to pay for that, so like you didn't.
I don't blame you.
Yeah,
no, Noah's on your team now.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck you.
So like
I was jelly as fuck.
But like, you also would show up every few minutes, or every few hours. You'd be like, "Dude, we got like our free order of popcorn chicken and another beer." I was like, "Fuck you."
I was god tier jelly. I had to like have solidarity with everyone else or whatever.
You had to be with us poors.
I
in the normal
regret
line.
it. I think more than that, it's like you're always gonna, like, metrics aside, you're always gonna sell a lot of Fast Pass and those high tier tickets because people value getting a higher experience, whether it's visualized, actualized, or
there's a semblance of control, right? Of a guarantee of I'm going to be able to do the 4 houses, whatever I want.
I don't have to go and stop by and upgrade my ticket in order to do these other little activities that I want to do, because now I'm paying for the ticket that gives me everything.
And as Noah said, I don't have to do prerequisite research before attending.
You can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
You can't. Horror Nights, you can't plan it that anymore. It's too much.
Not in Orlando. I mean, Lane and I, we did every house once. That's never happened before.
Yeah.
We've always done it twice, if not 3.
No,
So when do we hit the crossroads then? When do we think we hit the crossroads? Just because
I mean, Premium Scream was like the first big domino to fall. I think that was such a disaster. Premium Scream Night. That was such a disaster for them that it went viral. So much so that Noah, you said you saw it on TikTok. I saw it all over everything. Like that was a big old mess.
Yeah, it was.
So I think more things like that are going to happen unless they cap how many they're selling or explore alternatives, like Lane brought up, of virtual queuing, which I hadn't even thought about, but that's a pretty. That's a
great idea.
Option.
I fuck with it. Yeah.
No, and then you don't. Depending on how you do it, you probably don't have to.
You literally tapu Horror Nights. There it is.
Depending on how you do it, you probably don't have to have a separate queue for it because you would just get in the express line when you get there.
Yeah, you could just have it be like a scare band or something. Right. I don't know. Yeah.
I think my issue with that is I feel like the availability for that would be so limited.
Yeah.
And it'd sell out so quick.
It would. Like, you'd have
to start.
Would it really have much? Like, is the capacity they could offer for that? Would it really have much of an impact?
But I mean, it's interesting if people are using
need another
that
lane. I don't think you could take over Fright Lane or Fast, whatever the fuck it's called, Express Pass.
There can only ever be one lane.
Yes, there is true.
Thanks, buddy.
That's true.
According to Lane,
I appreciate that.
But here's the interesting thing we're talking about, right? If you were to do that, or maybe just offer a limited express ticket, you're going to have but one that only offers a few houses.
Oh, okay, I see.
Because there are people who are going, like this year, right? Like you just brought this up earlier. You have people that are going there really just because they're fucking they're snotty little 12-year-olds who want to do FNAF. Fucking hate FNAF.
FNAF. You said
dude, they're just trying to enjoy their lives.
Yeah,
why are you looking down on them,
dude? Because FNAF is
that was us at one point.
Yeah, it was, but we had cooler and shit to look at than fucking FNAF. We didn't get Horror Nights houses.
The reality of if you're selling a ticket that only is half the houses, like, that's going to be such a fucking hard pull for staffing. Is like, now we have to check every single ticket.
No, I'm saying like
you still get all the houses, but you get
general
express
ticket,
basically
but the express
for the 4.
only includes the big IPs.
Oh.
So like if you're like if so you're not
everyone's getting express, or no, this is an ad. This is
a separate, like, not
this is your $10 add-on.
Yeah, my $5 add-on. This is I mean, think about it though. Like, is that way you get people who are really just gonna want to do these big houses, but then you're not getting the whole park clogged up as a result. Like, you can maybe try to.
Well, won't that also kind of indicate to people that these are the big houses, which will psychologically incentivize them to go to those houses?
That's an interesting
kind
point.
of exacerbating the problem,
making them those houses.
I mean, that's what's
almost
happening.
undoable.
That's still happening now. Anyway. Like, it's not like it's not happening.
No, but just like, but that's happening organically.
Yeah,
like you're gonna turbocharge it by basically telling everyone through your ticketing, these are the houses to do.
Houses aren't stellar, then it becomes more of an
like
issue. If I paid more,
which was dog shit.
Sure, I paid more for a worse house.
That's not going to help spreading out the crowd.
No, you're fair.
I guess it's going to concentrate people more
on those houses. I guess you're right.
Just making them worse.
I mean,
Listen, man, this is why I don't do operations.
For some reason, Express people, at least when we were there, were showing up to whatever the shortest line was. So if the shortest line was Hatchet and Chains, a bunch of Express people would show up.
That was a weird phenomenon.
Objectively makes no fucking sense. Like, I don't know why they would do that. Like, you have an Express ticket, so the wait time that it's showing you doesn't apply to you. So why are you still showing up to the shortest?
The Express line is, in theory, supposed to be shorter than the standby.
Like, if I was paying Express, I don't want to even wait 30 minutes.
You want to walk in.
I want to be handheld. I want to be taking one of those Wally chairs.
You want to live in your he has a Wally fantasy, dude. It's so funny. God. He wants to live that life.
Yeah, I want to live in one of those chairs, and honestly, I wish I could just drink liquid all day. That just food is such a I like food, but like it's inefficient.
I like food, but
this is why I wish we would just have shape. I wish food was a choice. This is a different conversation.
Welcome to the mind of Noah Espinola.
I wish food was a choice. And
I've had this debate with him.
Also, having to sleep is stupid.
All right. I don't know. Is there anything else to say on this conversation? Like, it's super interesting because, like, I don't know the solution. I just want to have the conversation.
Sure.
And as you can clearly see, his mind is very efficiency oriented, which is fantastic.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you and I'm a production person and a creative person, and you're a production and creative person. So our brains just don't work the same way.
I don't value time. That's why I want to buy Express so bad. Like, we're all gonna die. Like, I can't get like, I'm not getting those fucking that time. As good as my Asics were, as good as my fucking as good as my Asics shoes were, I'm not getting that time in Terrifier back.
Guys, the Yankees won. How the fuck? Sorry.
Not getting that fucking time back, Toby.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know. It's fair. That's fair. I don't know. For me, I'm still a weirdo with the badge of honor thing. I think, but I get it. It's getting unbearable. It's getting tough.
Well, you used to buy like Express at Universal, and it would, get you a very short wait. Nowadays, you buy Express at Universal, and you're getting, on average, probably a quarter to a third the wait time of GA.
I did Express once in my life, in Orlando in 2017 or something, 2018, because everybody else was getting Express. And we got in at like 8 p.m. and we were done by midnight.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That was back. And that was including rides.
That's hot.
Yeah, well, that's not the reality now, though.
No, probably not.
No, you could probably get everything done. You could realistically, I think, with Express, get everything done, including rides. But you'd still probably
take those
food. You could get the whole experience, but you'd need the full night.
Which is still, like, I think that still is a symptom of a larger problem.
Yeah.
Is what I'm getting at.
I don't think that virtual queuing is necessarily the solution to any of it. I think that they're still going to sell too much, and that's still going to congest things in the actual walkways if people aren't in the queues. You're still going to go through two other houses and be like, oh, we're still waiting to go through Terrifier. I guess we'll just go do something else. And then, like, there's no guarantee that would fix that. What if you do Express Pass, and if you do virtual queue with your Express Pass, you're going around and doing stuff, and you only get to virtual queue for one or two of those houses? Like, there's no guarantee that capacity is going to allow for you to do everything. There's still not. Like, maybe it would be perfect and they could figure it out, but if they're selling too much of that, I could easily see it becoming a situation where it's like, well, I paid for Express featuring virtual queue or whatever the hell they end up calling it, and I was supposed to have virtual queue for all 5 IP houses, and I only got to do 3. Like, there's no guarantee that that's going to fix it. Like, maybe at the end of the night, you just hop in anyway, and that could be the thing, is like, you don't have to do virtual queue maybe, but it would be interesting to see, like, if they give you the option on whether to do it or not, how many people are going to try it, or how many people are just going to say, fuck it, I'm just going to get in line now.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not saying those again.
I don't think there's a perfect solution.
I don't think there.
I think since it has physical limitations, it's just gonna have to be them. You know, as long as demand is still bringing in money.
yeah,
Right. As soon as it affects that, that's when they'll probably have to. The only real solution is expand, but then that'll invite demand.
Yeah, you're right.
Which
Or
maybe
lower
will subside.
the sales and raise the price.
Yeah, it'll subside things temporarily, but then it'll invite more demand over time.
Yeah.
Which will have the same problem. They'll have to expand again. I don't think there's ever a solution because there's physical limitations to all these things.
No, I mean, you're not wrong. Again, this is why I work in. I'm a production person, and I write stupid shit. I don't do operations. But I just thought it was a fun conversation to have.
Yeah, absolutely. No, there's no answer. No, yeah, there's no answer, right? So it's
Cool thing of the week.
Yeah. We didn't do this last week because we forgot. But yes, at the end of our episodes, we always talk about a cool thing we saw.
My hoodie.
No, bitch, you got nuts.
Oh, what are the rules here?
No, you just talk about a cool
Anything
thing
you did in the
saw
last week or 2 weeks. Yeah, anything themed
theme
you
park related?
experienced, or just themed in general.
Well, I went to Knott's.
Yeah.
Scary bar.
I thought as I told you guys, the flashlight feature works really well
In what?
in the zoo.
Okay.
Oh,
In the zoo.
Yeah.
okay.
The real zoo was the line, as I've said before. They turn the lights off, and you get a little flashlight, and it works really well. Actually, I think they implemented it really well.
Better.
How are the?
better than the
It actually
guns they
adds a
used
very
to have.
unique element.
What'd you say, Lane?
Better than the blasters that they tried to do for the.
Oh, that was
Dude,
vampire
hey,
one.
Spencer and I were lucky as fuck, I think, because we got to do when we did a TEA event. Was that running? Were they running the blasters?
Yeah, it was the first thing we did, and it was
was
the
the
first night or something of it. It was really,
Yeah.
it was like the
Yeah,
best
it
run
was-
through I think you could get of it.
Yeah.
We got that like special treatment, so we just got to go in. The line
Yeah.
wasn't long, and we got to really do it with the blasters, and it was really fun.
Yeah, that
sounds
was
fun.
awesome.
It
Well.
crashed and burned after a year, but yeah.
Well, the flashlights the zoo was by far the longest line.
Yeah, that makes
There's,
sense.
like Bloody Mary wasn't even a fraction of what the zoo was. Everybody wanted to do the zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
And
was
then,
your favorite?
Like it was my favorite.
Yeah, of the
Of
new
the
ones.
new ones, like
Oh, the two new ones.
we haven't done the 4, so like you can count in. What's your favorite overall of all?
My favorite overall.
Yeah, of all the houses.
Oh my god.
Chilling Chambers.
No.
I can't believe
I
that's.
didn't even do that one.
I can't believe that's still around.
Maybe Eight Fingers 9 is the one that creeps me out the most.
Spiders.
I've heard such good things about
It's
that
got
house.
dark
No,
imagery.
the
Yeah,
spiders
I've
one
heard
is
such good-
widows.
Oh, what's Eight Fingers 9?
It's like a
It
folk
figures like-
tale-y one. It is.
Like
It is.
Boogeyman.
It is unnerving. Yeah.
I haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
Spencer and I are gonna get to do it together for the first time.
But
Yeah.
then I also like Mesmer. Mesmer's fun.
Mesmer's been.
Mesmer's going
Mesmer could-
bye-bye.
I know it's fine. Yo, did you guys ever get to do the one they had before Mesmer over there?
No.
Shadowlands,
No.
the samurai one.
No.
There was a ghost samurai one where
That does
Mesmer
sound
was.
pretty
That
sweet
shit was.
though.
It was so cool. It was one of the coolest fucking houses. It didn't last that long,
Well, if
Yeah.
Knott's did a Latin American Miss House, that would be so.
dude. I think they could beat Horror Nights their own game.
That would be so.
They could beat Universal if they wanted to.
Wow.
They could,
I think is Buena Parco heavily Latino area.
dude. Like, there's jokes about
Yeah.
like how Latino Knott's is. We're both Latino. We can say that.
That's funny.
Yeah,
All
I'll give
right,
her a
Toby,
wild.
what did you do?
I didn't do much. I was working, but I can talk. I want to talk about the Vegas theme park.
Oh
that they're building.
yeah.
Cool thing. Yeah, they're building. Well, it's announced. I don't know what's gonna fucking happen. They're building I think it's like a retro futurist theme park, like a retro nostalgia theme park in Vegas. That's like
So
based on
weird.
like America in the 1950s to the 1990s. They got PGAV. It was like a big construction company or designer who's done a bunch of big theme parks attached. It's announced. I don't know. I think the concept art looks AI generated, so that's not a good sign.
Is it
Well,
official concept art.
I think so. I don't know how far. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys remember the Oklahoma theme park that was announced like years ago and like was supposed to happen, and it was all some big disaster. And then the Mattel theme park that's rotting away in Phoenix.
Currently
Is it
in
Phoenix?
a weird, yeah, it is in a weird in between.
And it's just like halfway built. So I don't know how far it's gonna go. They've also how many times have they tried theme parks in Vegas and failed spectacularly? So we'll
Vegas
see what
is a
happens.
rough market for that.
It's a very rough. I mean, I wish I got to do the MGM theme park when it was around in the 90s.
That's true. Yeah, that's
like
true.
a boat ride and shit. And then like I did hear someone told me that they did the SpongeBob ride at Adventure Dome, and it's apparently really
Circus
good.
Circus is supposed to be great. Yeah,
It's supposed to be a really good ride.
To do it forever.
Circus is good.
No, the hotel's terrible.
Well,
SpongeBob's
from the outside.
Crazy Carnival ride, I think it's called.
No, he's asking if Circus is good.
Oh no.
I work an event at the Vegas Convention Center twice a year, which is right there, and I've always considered staying at Circus.
Never don't do it
because I could walk, but that shit looks crusty.
Don't
You're gonna
stay
get
ever at that
hepatitis.
hotel.
Yeah.
Don't stay at that hotel. That hotel is like I'm surprised it's still open.
I want to
This
say
show is sponsored by Circus Circus. Come for the fun, leave with hepatitis.
Blue building is sexy as fuck.
What's the Fontaine Blue building?
The big blue building.
What the fuck are you talking about?
There's a hotel in Vegas.
Have you guys?
Oh, I did hear about this.
The building's kind of sexy.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's nice.
I hate Vegas, so I don't. I'll go to the theme park if it opens.
Vegas is so much theming. I don't know how you could hate it.
Because it's gross.
It's like the worst kind of
Why?
theming.
Dude, it's.
Is it a city of express people?
Yeah, basically.
Sort of. If you think about it.
I don't know. So
Kinda,
yeah,
sorta,
I don't. I thought it's an interesting proposition. I like that it's an
Weird.
original idea. I don't think it's gonna. Also, like this is gonna probably, if it does get built, take like 10 years. So, where are we gonna be in 10 years?
Retro Escapes is what it's called.
They should just They should just make a ticket for Area 51 where you could just go into multiple things.
Oh yeah, that's another conversation.
That's gotta be
Area
coming,
50,
yeah.
Area 15.
Area 50, Area 50. No, Area 15. Area 15 desperately needs that because like I think none of their experiences are whole day ones. But if I could like go do Meow Wolf and then grab a drink and then go do Horror Unleashed, I would gladly pay $100 plus for that. I'd be 200, whatever. That's a whole day.
300 to do all the things.
Yeah, and then they get to like you just get to fuck around. Anyway, that's such a non sequitur. That's my thing of the week. I don't know what's gonna happen with it. I'm very interested. I just don't. There's so many parks that have been proposed in the last few years that aren't backed by Disney or Universal and have just failed before they even open their gates. So we'll see how this goes. Hey man, if I get a theme park in Vegas that gives me a reason to go and it's cool and it's original, sure, I'd love to. It looks interesting. It's all AI art, it looks like, but we'll see what happens. Just it's announced that the theme park trades have it, so we'll see.
Something's coming, yeah. Lane, have you done anything fun, or you just been working?
Oh, just working. But
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago now, I was in Minnesota.
Oh, that's right.
For a work thing, but I was
Mall of America. We forgot to talk about this.
so
last week.
I was able to visit Mall of America for the first time while I was there, and it's so interesting because I know Spencer, like you've been there, right? Like for work stuff. Oh, I thought you had been there for work.
I've worked
Okay.
on stuff there and designed like wall graphics.
Okay.
I've never been there.
So you guys know it is such a weird like genre bender of a place. like it's
Dude, I hate it. I hated it so much.
really
The Rainforest Cafe was not bad.
I just did you go to the did you do Nickelodeon Universe when you were
so
there?
I walked through it. To be honest, I was recovering from a migraine at the time, so I was like riding a bunch of coasters. Did not feel like something I wanted to do.
I did it.
But yeah, I did walk around there. I know that they've got that like TMNT coaster that has an insane
No,
steep drop.
that's TMNT is TMNT's Jersey. That's not Mall of America. That's Mall of America is the Bikini Bottom
the
dive
Bikini Bottom
coaster.
dive. Yes. Okay. So I definitely
I've been to both of those balls and I've done both those theme parks, so I know them well.
yeah.
You say ball?
Balls.
You said balls.
Did I say balls?
You literally said I've been to both of those balls.
Did I say balls?
Anyone else hear balls?
I
kinda
don't
heard
think.
it's really interesting because you have essentially a mall, and it's what 9 million square feet or something insane like that, and
Yeah, it's huge.
it's impossibly massive if you've never
Yeah.
been to it.
That's what she said, sorry.
Yeah, and the theme park is right in the middle of it, so it's an incredible sight line from wherever you're walking in the mall. So I'll give it that. But it's kind of crazy how much of a tourist attraction it is, considering most of it is just a mall. But I swear, if you go to this place, it looks like you're at a mall in 2007, back when people actually like went to malls. Like it's
For real? Dude,
insanely busy. Like it's
my
wild.
experience was so different. It was so eerie and dead when
Oh
I was
no,
there.
dude,
there was having a good one.
it was packed when I was there. Like it really was.
Interesting.
It was kind of
That's
crazy.
crazy.
I don't know if it's because
I
it's
was.
warm out or
Well,
whatever.
we went shortly after COVID,
It's probably why.
so I think maybe things have just recovered more by now.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting though. Like especially, I went there on a Saturday morning, and like it was definitely, you had people there that were just like, retirees doing their walking path, because they have like a University of Minnesota walking path through there. So like you definitely see people just like jogging and stuff, which is so weird. but there's also tons of like families and tourists and everything walking around that place. It's pretty wild. And I mean, the theme park looks cool. I walked around; it's very pretty. It was all themed out to Halloween too, so they had like some,
Sick.
some like SpongeBob and Patrick in Halloween costume type photo ops and stuff like
nice.
that. It was cute, yeah. But besides that, it's really weird to have, a themed entertainment element like that, and it's not just the theme park. There's also like Mirror Maze there. There's like escape
Don't they have
rooms
the
there.
Crayola
There's
experience
the
there
Crayola
too?
experience there. Yeah, so like there's a lot of activity based businesses there as well, like social
Mhm.
gaming businesses and stuff like that.
I mean,
It's
it
OG
makes.
Rainforest Cafe. Can we?
Is that the original?
That's the OG.
Is it
Is
the
it really?
original
Yeah.
Rainforest Cafe?
That's
I believe so.
interesting.
Wow.
I would go just for that. I've never been to one.
I
It
know
was
it's
better than the
really?
Phoenix one.
it's across the hall from Margaritaville. I saw that.
Fuck yeah, they got a Margaritaville.
You have like Margaritaville, Rainforest Cafe, and Forrest Gump or Bubba Gump like right next to each other.
big
The
three.
big three. I was like, that's crazy.
The big three of terrible
look,
theme park.
Besides
chain
that, I will
restaurants.
say my one. It's definitely worth going if you're in the area and you've ever been. It's really, I can't imagine people making an entire trip for it, but it is an
Sure.
interesting place to go to at the very least, especially if you've got kids or whatever. But
Yeah.
I my one gripe with it, I'll tell you, is that there's nowhere to get any sort of fucking breakfast in that place. like
Interesting.
like it opens at like 10 a.m., right? Because it's a mall, and unless you want a breakfast sandwich from Starbucks or something really sweet like one of those like Korean waffles, or Cinnabon or crepes or something, like unless you want something weird like super sugary or a Starbucks breakfast sandwich, there's nowhere to get like eggs and bacon in that place. Not at all. There's
Interesting.
like, you would think like, oh, all these big chains are here, like there's got to be an IHOP here or something. There's nothing. Like so eat breakfast before you go, I guess. It's like that's literally it. I walked over there on a Saturday morning because I was like, I walked in like, I'll look around and see this stuff and the Nickelodeon universe and whatever, and I'll just grab some breakfast because I had to go to the airport. And if you've been there, it's right next to the airport. It's like 8-minute Uber to the airport. So I was like, oh cool, I'll stop in there, I'll grab some breakfast, go. Not gonna happen. I ended up eating at the airport. There's no breakfast.
Dude, I basically lived at that mall for like a week when I was over there. And I couldn't eat shit. It sucked. I don't know, maybe because maybe you weren't living there. I hated that place.
I lived there 2 weeks, but I have you already know I have a chicken nugget palate.
Oh yeah, you were fine. You were fine.
I was enjoying myself.
Yeah,
dude,
that's
I
fine.
hated. Also, like the park is fine. The rides were fine. The coasters are pretty mid. I don't know, man. I hate malls. I think working at where I worked before, like that shit ruined malls for me. And then having to live in a mall for like a week, I was like, this is my personal hell.
I don't think you're allowed to live there.
Well, I mean, there's a hotel like literally attached to the.
You stayed at the Radisson, the one that's like
I stayed at the Radisson, yeah.
That has like the sky
Blue.
bridge over to it, yeah.
Yeah, I stayed there, and I was like, this is horrible. Like, the hotel was great, but then I was like, I don't like malls. I don't want to be in... I get it, in Minnesota, it makes sense, because, like, it's cold as shit, so you can operate it basically 24/7, like, every day of the week, but...
Bar staying there, where Toby stayed at the Radisson, the lobby of that place looks like the Fortress of Solitude. It's really... it's fucking weird, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Okay, that's my fun thing.
Okay.
All right, Spence, what do you got besides the M's kicking ass?
Besides, my Mariners gotta to quote the opening of Long Legs for some reason, where he's like, "I gotta talk to someone about my Mariners." And that line in that movie
right.
made me die. So yes, go M's. But no, I went to last Friday. There's an annual event in Seattle called the Great Pumpkin Beer Festival, which is...
That was the post I kept seeing with a giant fucking pumpkin.
Yeah, that's from... It's by Elysian Brewing, who used to be kind of a small local brewery. They got bought by Anheuser-Busch, so they're not quite the same. But yeah, they fill up effectively. They have like farmers from the whole state bring their biggest pumpkins, and they weigh them all. And the two biggest pumpkins for the 2 nights of the festival are taken, carved, emptied out, filled with beer, and then just scorched to like flavor the beer inside. And then they tap the pumpkin like a keg, and everyone drinks from it. And there's music, and there's like Halloween decorations and a costume contest. And it was like the most like bizarre like pagan drunken festival thing.
It sounds unhinged.
I had
as
an
fuck,
absolute blast.
I'm totally there for it. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I had an absolute blast. I got super drunk. I tried there's like 40 different local pumpkin beers from the state because Washington and Oregon are the whole Pacific Northwest is just like craft beer insanity. Everywhere there's a craft brewery, every couple blocks there's a coffee shop and a brewery. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was insane. I felt like I was both in Over the Garden Wall and also like a drunken nightmare, like Coachella or something. It was really fun. I quite enjoyed it. So that was my thing I did. I also went to a pumpkin patch, which, is always fun. Had some apple cider, but Friday night was a madhouse for sure.
Dude,
go ahead.
I keep driving by this pumpkin patch, like one of those pop-up pumpkin patches. Along
because they don't grow in LA.
Yeah, I keep driving past one on I-5, and it's all slides. It's all inflatable slides. Like there's there's like 12 inflatable slides. Like one's the Titanic, which feels kind of in poor taste, and there's another one.
I've seen one of those. I agree with you.
Yeah, there's like Paul Bunyan.
That's like I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, it was like 1,200 people died on this boat. Let's make a slide out of it.
They also probably had inflatable slides to disembark the boat. Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah. So there was a Titanic one. There was one that was like a crocodile. There was one that was like a bunch of sharks that you like slide into the shark's mouth, and Paul Bunyan was one of them. Like it was a really weird menagerie of the same inflatable slide, just themed differently. And then they're like, it's a pumpkin patch, and I'm like, I don't even see pumpkins. It's just 12 different slides. Like, I don't...
Gotta love a roadside pumpkin patch.
A roadside attraction.
Well, on that inspiring note about the fate of the Titanic travelers, that's gonna do it for episode, I think 12 of Fully Immersed.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I think it's 12. I have they're numbered in my hard drive. Yeah. But I want to thank, of course, Lane Calder for joining us a little late, but thank you, buddy. Good to have you back again.
Absolutely.
Tobias Lerman Matante as well, and our special guest, our good pal. Thanks for coming by, Noah. We love you.
Thank you, guys. I think it's safe to say I was fully immersed this whole time.
You were fully immersed. Wow. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna edit in a rim shot over that. Yes. But if you are watching this on YouTube, like and subscribe. Give us 5 middle fingers, as Lane says, which is not an actual function of YouTube. But I guess we have to keep saying
if we keep saying it enough, maybe it will be.
We will make it. Yeah, they did introduce something called like a hype button.
We're getting there. We're getting there. We just have to ease them into it. They're dipping their toes.
We're going to ease into the middle fingers. But if you're on Spotify, give us 5 stars, a rating, comment. I think you can comment on Spotify videos now. All these platforms are turning into the same thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you're listening on Apple, thumbs up, whatever it's called. We're on TikTok at Fully Immersed Pod, Instagram, Fully Immersed Pod. We don't have other social media as far as I'm aware, but... maybe I'll make one this week. Who can say? But Facebook. I think it's just linked to our Instagram at Fully Immersed Pod. Actually.
Oh yeah, probably.
I again, thanks you guys for joining me. Thank you all for listening. We will see you next week with maybe another guest. Who knows? The possibilities are endless.
Oh yeah. God.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.